What's going on, guys? Dr.MooMoo here, and welcome to the first ever Moo Moo Awards, an award show hosted by yours truly. This award show is meant to honor the greatest movies, shows, and games of the year by giving them the most correct opinion on them. Our judge panel consists of 5 somewhat cool people. 1 has the right opinion always, which is me. 2 thought Spirited was one of the best movies of the year. 1 who wanted to watch Minions for his birthday, and 1 who watched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and decided that was a better movie than Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, if one of these awards upsets you, it's all their fault. I only voted for the ones you agree with. So, let's get on with the show now. It's tough to pick the first award to give out at an award show. Not only does it have to be a hype category, but also one that has the audience reflect on all the good things from throughout the year. So what better an award to start with than the most anticipated thing of next year? We're getting a lot of good things in 2023, so why not talk about that? Here are the nominees for the most anticipated of 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Only Mortars in the Building Season 3, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And the award for most anticipated of 2023 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Congratulations. After the excellent masterpiece of Into the Spider-Verse that not only felt fresh and new for a genre we've seen a lot of, but also seemed to affect the animation world as a whole, showing us animated movies don't need to be 3D animation like Disney has done for the past 10 or so years. So how can we not get excited for its sequel that seems to improve in the animation department and will hopefully tell a great story? For our second award, we will be looking at movies that, on paper or based on some trailers, looked bad, but turned out to be surprisingly good. Some rolled well with its dumb premise, while others got surprisingly emotional at times. Either way, we were surprised by these movies' quality. Here are the nominees for Most Surprising Movie of 2022. Bullet Train, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And the award for Most Surprising Movie of 2022 goes to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Despite it coming out recently, Puss in Boots 2 manages to subvert expectations by escaping the mediocrity of both the first movie and other recent DreamWorks productions. Like Shrek, it manages to change its fairy tale characters and world in exciting ways, and it's not afraid to get emotional or state a message without directly shoving it in your face. It also had a surprisingly good soundtrack, and the animation felt fresh and new. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was just all around surprising, and that's why it wins this award. The next 2 awards are meant to honor the wonderful cast of TV shows. Whether they're comedy actors like the wonderful Only Murders in the Building trio, or more dramatic actors like Bob Odenkirk and Better Call Saul, everyone has been touched by an actor or actress in a show. Without further ado, let's start with actor. The nominees for Best Actor in a TV show are Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Joe Keery, Stranger Things, John Cena, Peacemaker, and Tony Dalton, Better Call Saul. And the award for Best Actor in a TV show goes to we actually have a tie. I had plenty of ideas of how to address this tie, but ultimately decided to just give the award to both actors, since both of them deserve it. So for real this time, the award for Best Actor in a TV show goes to Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, and John Cena, Peacemaker. Congrats to the both of them. Bob Odenkirk continued to show his skill of playing a character that seems simple from the outside, but is actually super complex. And John Cena showed the world he can be more than just a tough guy by giving some really emotional moments in Peacemaker. Congrats to the both of them.
Hey, it's Boomer here, and I pick an honorable mention for Best Actor in a TV show, and it goes to Oscar Isaac for Moon Knight. Not only did he play one character, he played 42. That's incredible. Not like the movie Incredibles, but the TV show. That's all, folks. Not like Porky Pig, though.
Now, on the other side of that is actress, which are obviously just as important as actors. Just like actors, they can make us feel all sorts of emotions by becoming a completely different person while acting. The nominees for Best Actress in a TV show are Ray Seahorn, Better Call Saul; Sadie Sink, Stranger Things; Selena Gomez, Only Murders in the Building; and Wendy Malick, The Owl House. And the award for Best Actress in a TV show goes to Selena Gomez, Only Murders in the Building. Selena Gomez manages to give both a funny and dramatic performance in Only Murders in the Building, and to the surprise of many, she complements well with her completely different co-stars Steve Martin and Martin Short. As her character develops more and more in the show, her performance gets better and better, and I look forward to seeing more of her next season. Congrats. Let's take a break from actors and actresses for a moment to highlight another important aspect of media: the music. Music can make any moment more impactful. Whether the song's epic, makes you want to get up and dance, or is that final push to make you start crying, the soundtrack is an important part of movies, shows, and video games. So here are the nominees for Best Soundtrack of 2022. The Batman, Pinocchio, Sonic Frontiers, and Spirited. And the winner of Best Soundtrack of 2022 goes to The Batman. The Batman's soundtrack manages to add to the epicness of the film, not only in its action scenes, but during all of the movie, basically. The soundtrack manages to elevate the Batman to perfection by just being an absolute banger. When it goes dun 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 dun, I get freaking chills. Man, it slaps. The Batman soundtrack is excellent, and that's why it wins this award. Hey, it's me. Now it's my turn for an honorary award. Yippee. I'm here to give an honorary for Best Soundtrack, and while what I chose was nominated, it didn't win. So let's talk about Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers not only picks back up the series' gameplay and fun-wise, but also in the soundtrack field. After the mediocrity of Force's soundtrack, it's nice to hear great Sonic music again. I was looking forward to the bosses at the end of each island, not only for the awesome Supersonic fight, but also for some of the best lyrical songs in the franchise, and gaming as a whole. Even if you're not a Sonic fan, I recommend listening to the boss music because it slaps. And that's all for me. Back to the show. Now we can hop back on that actor and actress bullet train, but this time for their roles in movies. Since we started with actor last time, this time we'll start with actress. The nominees for Best Actress in a Movie are Angela Bassett, Black Panther Wakanda Forever; Kate Hudson, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery; Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once; and Sadie Sink, The Well. And the award for Best Actress in a Movie goes to Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeoh does a terrific job of playing an average mother and wife who is suddenly thrust into a world full of, well, many other worlds. She does a realistic job of being just as confused as anyone would be when it first starts, and her learning to connect with her daughter and husband through these other universes, while also learning, while they may be the lamest timeline, it doesn't matter because they have each other, is a super compelling theme and message, thanks to her performance. Congrats to Michelle Yeoh. Now to end off the actors and actress side of media, we have Best Actor in a Movie. Just like everything else, there were many great performances, but only one could win. The nominees for Best Actor in a Movie are Brad Pitt, Bullet Train; Brendan Fraser, The Well. Paul Dano, The Batman. And Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick. And the award for Best Actor in a Movie goes to Brendan Fraser, The Well. Thanks to The Well being a great character study, Brendan Fraser manages to fully shine and show us why he is such a great actor. He's able to play his character that manages to stay positive despite all these bad things and circumstances around him really well. It was easy to relate to him not just because of this, but also because of the character's clear love for teaching and getting his students to actually feel and connect to something, which Brendan pulls off perfectly. His performance can manage to put anyone with a heart to tears. That's why he's the best actor of 2022.
For my honorary award, I'm doing for the category of actor, I'm picking Barry Keoghan for Banshees of Inisherin. I thought he did an amazing performance, and I didn't get a chance to pick him as the actor. Thank you.
Before we get into what I'd call the big three awards, let's talk about some dog doo-doo. This year may have had some high highs, but it also had some low lows too. I guess we should dishonor those, so that's why we have the Worst Movie Award. The nominees for Worst Movie of 2022 are DC League of Super Pets, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, Home Team, Minions: The Rise of Gru, Morbius, and Spiderhead. And the winner, or loser, I don't know, of Worst Movie of 2022 is Morbius. Morbius manages to fulfill its promise of being more spectacular by having some great performances and even better cinematography and special effects. I've never seen a movie. When Morbius turned to the camera and said, "There's no place like Morb," a single tear began to roll down my cheek. But then I realized Morbius wouldn't want me to cry, so like Officer Earl and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, I sucked it back in. You know what also sucked? The movie Morbius. Thank you. Next up, we have our big three awards: Best Movie, Best Show, and Best Game of the Year. Let's begin with Best Game. Gaming is a media just as important as movies and shows. Whether the game is just a fun, simple adventure, or a story-driven quest, games can just as easily make us feel something. And while there are plenty of good games that released this year, we had to pick just one. The nominees for Best Game are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Multiversus, and Splatoon 3. And the award for Best Game of 2022 goes to God of War Ragnarok. Now, hold up a second before you freak out why Elden Ring didn't win. I know that may surprise y'all, but the story of God of War Ragnarok just worked super well for me. The gameplay, of course, improved on 2018's, but ultimately stayed the same, which is fine because it's fun gameplay. The story, of course, is perfect. Every character feels fully fleshed out, thanks to not only the script, but the actors portraying them. Kratos manages to become more and more of an emotional character, while still keeping the awesomeness of being a god. His boy, Atreus, also has an arc of learning to fight without needing Kratos, and seeing Kratos fine with this boy becoming a man is beautiful. The story's message of escaping fate is super well done, and I can't wait to see where this franchise goes next. Congrats on the win. Our next big award of the night is Best Show of 2022. Many great shows came out this year. Some just began, others are continuing their story, and some have finally wrapped up and come to an end. No matter which one a show's doing, the job of creating character arcs that develop throughout what is essentially a longer movie is not an easy task. But our nominees managed to keep us entertained and make us feel something. Here are the nominees for Best TV Show of 2022. Better Call Saul, The Boys, Only Murders in the Building, Peacemaker, and Stranger Things. And the award for Best TV Show of 2022 goes to Better Call Saul. The wonderful story of Saul, who was essentially a comic relief character from Breaking Bad, who now has become a complete character that's super complex, and his story has finally come to an end. While Better Call Saul feels drastically different from Breaking Bad, it reaches just as high, if not higher. This final season offered many great moments and surprises. It also contains one of the best episodes in the series, beat only by Chicanery for me, that episode being Plan and Execution. It's sad to see this show finally end, and of course, I wish there was more, but the best shows always leave us wanting more instead of continuing on forever and eventually being boring. So congrats on your win for Best Show, Better Call Saul. Now for the final award of the show. We are here to honor the Best Movie of the Year. Best Movie is always hard to choose, and it can change constantly with time and rewatches, but we don't have time for that. So these are the final opinions until the end of time, and there's no changing this, ever. The nominees for Best Movie of 2022 are The Batman, Bullet Train, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Top Gun Maverick, and The Whale. And the award for Best Movie of 2022 goes to The Fabelmans. Congrats! The Fabelmans was a terrific movie based loosely on Spielberg's childhood and his relationship with his family and, of course, film. The characters are terrific in this. Sammy using film to not escape from the world, but using it to vent all the emotions he has in him from his family and school is so well done and feels realistic. It brings back some good memories of my own on top of conveying a super well done story. For me, this is Spielberg's best work, and as such is also the best film of 2022. There may have been some other great movies, but as a whole, this is the one we all agreed on was good. So Fabelmans wins Best Movie of 2022. Congrats. And that wraps up the first ever Moo Moo Awards, and that's the Moo Moo Awards for 2022. Hopefully we'll be back next year. If not, then oh well, I guess. Hope you enjoyed. Yep. See ya. Hit subscribe and like and stuff.